She didn't have a name. They called her Unit 77K, the 77th bioengineered hybrid of the K-class humanoids. In the neon-slicked, corruption-laced slave markets of the Andromeda Fringe, she was property. Her creators designed her for obedience, her keepers trained her for pleasure, and her auctioneers branded her for profit. But none of them ever asked her what she wanted, because she was a pleasure animal, a term coined by the Earth Federation's Outer Ring Command to dehumanize the hybrid-born offspring of genetic manipulation, beings engineered with humanoid DNA and exotic alien genetics to serve the basest desires of the galaxy's elite. They were pets, prizes, playthings. Unit 77K was beautiful, even by hybrid standards. Silvery blue skin that shimmered under starlight, violet eyes flecked with gold, and a voice so soft it could calm raging beasts on asteroid farms. But her beauty was her curse. She was passed from master to master. None of them asked her name. None of them thought she might have one, until she was given away. The human soldier's name was Kael Voss. Tall, scarred, and weary, he had survived 5 wars, 2 betrayals, and 1 death sentence. He was a mercenary for hire now, but once he'd been a soldier of Earth Command, fighting on the front lines against the alien Solari Dominion. After a brutal campaign on the rogue moon Orbis, X9, Kael led a suicide squad into the heart of the enemy citadel and destroyed a bioweapon facility. He limped out with plasma burns and 3 dead squad mates. The warlords of the outer colonies declared him a hero. As a reward, he was gifted the most prized possession the governor's harem could offer, Unit 77K. She was brought to his quarters by 2 armored guards, her hands bound in golden restraints. Her violet eyes met his, but there was no fear, only quiet resignation. She had expected this. One more man, one more night, one more cage. But Kael didn't move. He stared at her like he was seeing her for the first time, truly seeing her. "Take those off her," Kael said. The guards blinked. "Sir, protocol." I said take them off. One reluctantly removed her bindings. She didn't flinch. She didn't run. She stood still, waiting for instructions. "Do you have a name?" he asked quietly, once the guards left. She hesitated. "I'm 77K. "No, that's not a name. It is what I was assigned." Kael sat down on the edge of his bunk, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "No one ever gave you a real name?" "No." A pause. "I'm going to call you Lyra, like the constellation." She blinked. The words sat in her ears, in her chest, like a new heartbeat. "Lyra," she whispered. "Yeah." He looked up, a flicker of something warm in his tired eyes. "That's your name now." Kael didn't touch her. He gave her his bed while he slept on the floor. He gave her food and water. He bought her clothes, not the silken chains of slave attire, but real clothes like a person might wear. For days, she waited for the moment he would change, the moment he would turn into the others. He never did. Instead, he talked to her about the stars, the battles he lost, the friends he couldn't save. He spoke with a rawness that surprised her, with no expectations of response. And slowly, she found herself speaking back. Not just answering, talking. She told him of the cages, the punishments, the masters who never looked into her eyes. She told him of her first memory, a white lab and cold hands, and her dream, foolish as it seemed, to one day walk a green world barefoot. Kael just listened, and then he promised, "I'll get you out of here, Lyra. I swear it." But the outer colonies didn't forget their property so easily. Word spread that Kael wasn't using his reward, that he was squandering the governor's gift. Then came the notice: return the asset or face expulsion from the Colony Alliance. He had 2 days to comply. They fled. Kael used stolen clearance codes and hijacked a supply freighter. Lyra sat in the co-pilot's seat, barefoot and terrified, her heart thudding with a rhythm she had never felt before. Hope. The stars turned as the ship tore through jump gates and pirate-infested zones. Kael charted a path to the Dead Belt, where no colony dared chase runaways. It was there, amid drifting wreckage and blackened suns, that they found the ship, Seraphim's Wake, a derelict long-haul cruiser abandoned after a plague wiped its crew. They made it their home. Days turned into weeks. They restored power, fixed hydroponics, mapped unknown sectors, and named rooms like children discovering a treehouse. For the first time in her life, Lyra laughed. Kael taught her to pilot. She taught him to sing. He learned the shimmer in her skin changed color when she was joyful. She learned that his scars, each one, had stories, and he let her touch them like braille on his soul. One night, as a red moon rose over the edge of a rogue planet, he whispered, "You saved me more than I ever saved you." And she kissed him, not because she was told, not because she was owned, but because she wanted to. Love between a hybrid and a human was illegal in most sectors. They both knew it, but in the cold black of the stars, they had carved out a space where the law could not reach, where names meant something, where pain could be healed. Kael gave her freedom. Lyra gave him a reason to live. They were happy, until the bounty hunters came. The Andromeda slave syndicate put a price on Lyra's head, 5,000 credits alive, 2,000 dead. It was only a matter of time before someone found them. The attack came without warning. A raider frigate dropped out of warp near Seraphim's Wake, launching a barrage of EMP pulses and boarding drones. Kael and Lyra fought back, him with plasma rifles, her with telekinetic bursts from her hybrid genes. But they were outnumbered. Kael took a blade to the side. Blood everywhere. "Geo!" he shouted, shoving her toward the escape pod. "I won't leave you," she screamed. "You have to. I found my name with you. I won't lose it again." He grabbed her shoulders, his breath ragged. "Survive, Lyra. That's all I want. Live free. Live long. Remember me." And he sealed the hatch. She watched his silhouette vanish in fire and steel. Her pod jettisoned seconds before Seraphim's Wake exploded behind her. She screamed his name until her throat bled. Kael was gone, or so she thought. 6 months later, on a hidden moon in the Shadow Sector, Lyra worked as a mechanic for smugglers. She had changed, harder now, leaner, with eyes that held galaxies of grief. But she was free. One day, a ship limped into the port, old, battle-damaged, held together by will and duct tape. A figure emerged, limping, scarred, one arm replaced by cybernetics. "Name," the guard barked. "Kael Voss." Lyra dropped the Hydra spanner. Their eyes met. He was alive. He had escaped, barely, with a stolen escape pod and half a lung. She ran to him. There were no words, just arms around each other, just hearts beating in sync again. He looked at her, smiling through pain. "Told you, I'd never stop fighting." She cupped his face. "Welcome home." Together, they rebuilt again. This time, not just a ship, but a life. They founded a sanctuary, the Lyra Station, a hidden space station for escaped hybrids, runaway slaves, and lost souls of all kinds. Because Kael had given her a name, and she would give others the same.